What's up, everybody? It's your boy Meme here. I woke up this morning at some point. When did I woke up this morning at 3, and then I brushed my teeth and I washed my face and I got dressed, and then I actually did some Nix work, like some Nix OS work, and it was feeling like I was feeling really good about it. I was feeling really productive, and I had just woken up. I was pretty focused, and it was really good. And so later my parents woke up, and my mom got ready, and then we both went to work, and work went really well. My coworker's son was there, which is pretty weird. My coworker slash boss. I mean, he says to call me. he says to call him my coworker, but he's my boss, right? He tells me what to do. And I was working on not real. Like, I kind of do my own thing, but like he is like, hey, you should do this, and I'm like, okay. But I do my own thing unless said otherwise. Usually, right, is how it works. And I just showered. That's why my hair looks like this. Um, and I go to work, and work goes pretty well, and his son is there. So that's pretty weird. He's like 12. I talked to him a little bit, and I was mostly doing SDS work. Something really. So we have this big binder of SDS sheets, and we are in the process of going. Well, we're done with this in particular. Well, I'm done with this in particular. I was going through the entire binder and seeing what we do and don't have. And turns out we don't have 95% of what's in this binder. And it seems like the 5% we do have is just by happenstance, right? And we're not supposed to have this stuff in the binder. The way SDS sheets work is you're supposed to, for every chemical you possess, you should have a piece of paper that says what to do in the event of an emergency situation involving the chemical, right? And so, and you should just have that on site. And so the thing is that we only have like 5 SDS sheets that are applicable to the stuff in the lab, and so now that we have a inventory of what's wrong with the current binder, we can update the binder with the existing chemicals, and chemicals include things like you would expect, like chlorine or mineral spirits, right? But also like some more weird things you wouldn't expect, like paint. Like paint's a chemical, right? And also like paint has chemicals, right, that you have to put in an SDS sheet. Technically, that's when I say SDS sheet, I'm saying safety data sheet, right? So I should be saying ASDS, but I'm not saying ASDS, because that for anybody who doesn't know what that acronym means, I'm just gonna sound like I'm speaking incorrectly, right? So I'm gonna say SDS sheet. Uh, you know, uh, Yeah, so like paint has chemicals. You need an SDS sheet for paint. That includes spray paint as well. Um, Also, certain adhesives. If you have super glue like CA glue, you need to have an SDS sheet for that. It's a big process, and I can imagine by the end of my life this won't be a regulation anymore. It's definitely a pre-internet regulation. The entire reason you needed SDS sheets on hand was so then if a ambulance comes up because somebody accidentally ingested something, you need to be able to hand the people in the ambulance a piece of paper saying what to do, right? But now you could just tell them, oh, hey, they ingested this, right? And then they could look it up, right? Nowadays. And so it's much less of an issue. It's definitely a pre-internet thing. Honestly, maybe a pre-COVID thing, because I feel like that's a lot more arguable of a position before. No, I don't know. Yeah, the ambulance system didn't really change with COVID. Never mind. Um, because a lot of the reason I say that is a lot of I feel like I heard this funny. I was watching a video today about how like other people say, oh, a lot of people say this, when really they're just saying that they say this, right? They thought this, because everybody has a bias toward themselves. It was a Sylvan Franklin video. I thought it was a really wise, and he was just quoting something I think one of his mentors said, and I think it was a really wise thing, but something that but the reason I mention that is because I'm being earnest in this statement. Like, I really do think a lot of people are under this impression that the okay, a lot of people are under this impression that like the world has been like on like a slow progression of like technology being integrated into society, and I feel like that's broadly true. And of course, I've only been conscious for uh, like 10 years, right? Meaningfully so, to where, my mind can like meaningfully comprehend the complexity of things. Um, uh, and the and so of course I don't really know, but I really feel like there is a big spike in the complexity and the integration of technology with humans and with society like over COVID. An immediate example of this would be like video calling. Like video calling was a really mature technology and it was way underutilized up until COVID, right? Like now I feel like video calling is like perfectly utilized. Like everyone is using video calling the amount they should have in 2019 and like 2018 and 2017, right? Um, uh, which is really great. But I feel like and like QR codes, right? I remember before COVID watching a video about like how QR codes were dead, right? Like, oh, like what happened to this weird like failed like two-dimensional barcode technology, right? Like what happened? Because it was invented in the 90s and it didn't go anywhere, right? But the proliferation of phones and the proliferation of wanting to minimize physical contact between people really did incentivize the usage of QR codes. And so this thing that was honestly mostly popular in, I believe, Asia, got super popular in other parts of the world like America. Right now you see QR codes everywhere. Of course, I think less in Asia, less than in Asia still, but still. Um, and Yeah, that was a weird tangent. So I was doing SCS sheet work, and yeah, So the cool thing about it is that today I finished cataloging everything in the binder, and I discovered that we only have like 5 or like 7 things, or 6 or 7 things that are meant to be in the that we have in the lab that are supposed to be in the binder. So now we're going to be going through every chemical in the lab. I'm going to be going through every chemical in the lab, and I'm going to be, looking up its SDS sheet and putting it in a spreadsheet. So then we can put it in a big binder at the end, and it'll be nice because we're moving to a new lab soon, and that'll be and it'll be really great when we move to the new lab because by the time we do, we would have cataloged all of the chemicals, right, that have been moved. So yeah. For breakfast this morning, I had a banana and a protein shake. For lunch, oh, I need to make a protein shake for tomorrow morning. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. Um, I don't need to make a protein shake. Yes, I don't. Um, and then when I got home, oh, and then for lunch I had noodle soup, like chicken. No, I didn't have noodle soup. I had chicken soup. Like Andrew Yang, call me Andrew Yang the way I'm eating chicken soup. And then for dinner, I had some pizza, and that was pretty good. And so yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about like tomorrow before I go to therapy. The thing I usually do is I wake up and then I exercise and then I shower and then I do my work before I go to therapy. But I'm honestly thinking about waking up, doing my work, then exercising, then showering, then eating, and then going to therapy. Like front loading everything because I felt like really productive this morning. I feel like I kind of nuke my dopamine on the treadmill, and I was thinking like, maybe I should like try meditating or something after I'm done on the treadmill, so then I can like reset like the way my mind works because it's like I'm all over the place after the treadmill, and that's partly solved with the Ritalin, right? I'm off the treadmill, and the thing I need to do is I need to uh, you know, uh, get off the treadmill, do whatever other exercise I need to do, like rowing and push-ups. Then once I do that, I need to go upstairs and then take a shower. And then once I'm done with my shower, I take my Ritalin. And that's good on paper, but the problem with that is I'm pretty unmedicated, and so it's really easy for things to go haywire in this plan. So I think it's really good if I just front load my work. Yeah, so I think it'd be really good if I just front load my work in the morning. So then I don't have as many opportunities for things to go wrong. But then I would still be able to do my Ritalin to be focused, to get ready and go to therapy and such. But yeah. Yeah. How long was I recording? Oh wow, almost 10 minutes. We're gonna let it go to the 10-minute mark. Okay, bye.